Hey everyone, before we get started with today's episode of Card Sharks, I'd like to give a big shout out to Henry Ellis for today's opening poem. And if you'd like to leave an opening poem for the show, leave it in the comment section down below. Now, on with today's game. Aces are great, deuces are too. But if you see an 8, you'll be feeling blue. On Card Sharks! This is the game where a single turn of the cards can win you over $32,000 in cash. And now, to get us started, here's your host of Card Sharks, Brandon Scrub! Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Card Sharks right here at MVP Productions. Glad you could join us here once again. Well, currently on the show, we have a champion who has managed to go 3 games in a row now and has won himself a very nice chunk of cash to the tune of $15,600. Please welcome him back, Mr. Brandon Hinkle.
Hello there, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing quite well, sir. Glad to have you back. Over 15 grand here in your 3 appearances so far. Have you thought about what you're going to do with any of your winnings?
Sure have. I'm going to split it with my girlfriend, Carly Sharp.
Well, fantastic. She definitely looking forward to picking that up for you. Hopefully it will be a big chunk of cash for you as well. But you have a chance to actually be our first retired champion this season, if possible, if you could actually get through this episode by the end of it still being our champion. Because remember, 5 games this season, you automatically retire, and you'll get yourself a spot in our Tournament of Champions at the end of the season. So you ready to see if you can go for it all today?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, well, good luck to you. We're going to be taking on our first opponent here today, who comes to us by way of Palm Bay, Florida. Please welcome in Mr. Christopher Hammond.
Hello.
Glad to have you back, Chris. I think we had you on during the first season of Card Sharks, if I remember correctly, right?
I believe so.
Well, remind the good folks at home a little bit more about yourself, sir.
Well, I am Christopher Hahn, just turned 20, just graduated high school about almost a month ago. I am about to enter college. Well, as soon as this episode gets aired, I will already be in college while online. I am a YouTuber and a Roblox game show recorder.
Fantastic. What projects are you working on currently?
Just saying. Don't. As far as new projects, don't know about that just yet.
Okay, so this is sort of in a stop-down time at the time of recording this here. I see. Well, fair enough. Well, hopefully some more work comes your way. We wish you best of luck here. Good luck to both of you as we get ready to tackle our game of Card Sharks, players. As you know, it's a game of high-low where you're trying to call whether the next card down the row is either higher or lower than the previous one. Our champion, Brandon, will be playing the red cards. Our challenger, Chris, plays the blue card. And as always, we play a best 2 out of 3 matchup here. Each game that you win picks you up $500 in cash. Win 2 games is $1,000, and you'll have a chance to go on to our money card round, where we have a chance to pick up an additional $32,000 in cash. So I'd love to give away some big money here. Let's get this game started off with round 1, where our champion gets the first question of the day. Brandon, this one's for you. We asked 100 male business executives. Again, we asked 100 male business executives. If Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States, applied for a job in your company, would you hire him? How many of 100 male business executives said yes, they would hire him?
I'm thinking maybe about 30.
30 out of the 100 of them said they would hire the former president. Chris, higher or lower than 30?
Well, considering a lot of people like Obama than our current president at this point, but if Obama can grow their business, I would say so. For that number, I'm gonna say a little bit higher than that.
I'm gonna say a little higher than that. Well, if the answer is higher, Chris, you'll be playing your cards first. If it's not, Brandon will be playing his cards first. The actual number of male business executives who said they would hire Barack Obama, the former president, if he applied for a job in their company is 27. It's not higher. I'm genuinely kind of stunned by that, just based upon
Same.
the fact of how well received Barack was. But I guess because they feel like he might be a bigger distraction to the company than what what their particular company's goals are. So I guess you could look at it from that aspect here. But either way, Brandon, you got control of the cards, and you're going to be going first in this one. So let's take a look at your opening base card for this game. A deuce.
That's a great card. Let's go higher. Up,
I'm going
please.
higher than the 2. It's an ace.
Down. Go down. Lower.
Going lower than the ace. Oh no, another ace.
Oh!
That always hurts there.
Guys.
Unfortunately, you lose both of those cards back to the base card, giving Chris a free chance to play off his base card, a 6.
Oh, that's great. That's nice. All right. Go with the odds. Go higher.
Going on higher than 6. Oh no, at least for you as well. Lose that base card. Fortunately, no progress made on the board here. So we'll continue on with question number 2. This one goes to Chris. Chris, we asked 100 psychiatrists, do you think the women's liberation movement caused more women to need help? How many of 100 psychiatrists said they do believe that the women's liberation movement caused more women to need more help?
What's been going on now, back then to now? I would say there's still plenty of that's still there. As far as numbers wise, I'm gonna go in the middle here and say 52.
52 out of 100 of them said that the more women needed more help because of the women's liberation movement. Brandon, higher or lower than 52?
I believe that's lower.
I'm going to say even lower than that. Well, let's see. The actual number of psychiatrists that believe that the women's liberation movement caused more women to need help is 81. It's not lower.
Oh.
They felt like they, I guess my logic here, I guess, would be they felt like they needed more. They were crying out for additional help and support, and they wanted to be more independent, so they felt like they needed to get them to that same level, I guess. That's the way I figure it. But nonetheless, Chris, you've got control of the cards, and you've got that 6. What would you like to do?
The 6 needs to go.
All right, he's going to change it. You won the question. You have the right to change that base card with the next card off the top of your deck. 6 now becomes a king.
That's better. Lower.
Lower than the king. It's a 5.
I'll go higher.
Going on higher than the 5. It's a queen.
Lower than the lady.
Going on lower than the lady. Another 5.
Maybe a clean sweep for higher.
For game 1 of the match and a $1,000 bonus for sweeping the board, higher than a 5. It's an 8. He's got it.
Wow.
Totally made a mistake and hit the wrong button on my end there, but the freeze wouldn't have mattered there. You got game 1, you've got the $500 plus the $1,000 bonus for sweeping the entire board without freezing, so that's $1,500 there. But more importantly, you're up 1-0 over the champion. We'll see how this thing works. We'll clear out the cards. We'll go ahead and get started off for game number 2 now as we deal the next cards off the top of the deck. Remember, if you can remember what's been played, it will help you significantly in your chances of calling the cards. As we start off game number 2, this time our challenger goes first in this round. So, Chris, this first question goes to you.
Yep.
All right. We asked 100 Russians during the 1980s on this one. This is a Card Sharks Classic question on this one. We asked 100 Russians during the 1980s. Do you believe what you read about the USSR and the US and the American press? We asked 100 Russians, do you believe what you read about your own country in the United States press releases? How many of those 100 Russians said they did believe?
The media, some of those can get twisted. Some of them could get twisted up and get twisted to say something else. So that could be half and half. Well, knowing that the United States is not really friends with Russia, I'm gonna go mid low on this one and say 49.
49 out of 100 Russians believed they read what was in the American papers about their own country. Brandon, higher or lower than 49?
I believe that's a lot lower.
I'm going to say a lot lower than that. I'm interested to see the answer here on this one myself. The actual number of Russians that believed what they read about their own country in the American papers is 80. It's not lower.
What?
Get out of here with that.
Surprised as you are at this point, to be perfectly honest. All right, Chris,
Yes.
you've got control of the cards. That means you're going to start off this game of Card Sharks with a 4.
That's a good card. I'll go higher.
Going on, higher than the 4. It's a 10. Going on, lower than the 10. It's a 7. It's the middle.
And I'll freeze right there.
Yeah, we are going to freeze this time there, so we'll move the freeze bar over, giving you the 3-card advantage over Brandon. We go on to question number 2 now. This one is for our champion, Brandon. Brandon, we asked 100 priests on this one. Have you ever thought seriously about leaving the priesthood? How many of 100 priests said yes, they have given some consideration about leaving the priesthood?
Well, let's see. In my church, Concord United Methodist, I had a priest, a pastor. His name was Brett Hall, and he decided to retire. And now we have a new pastor, which is Will Cantrell. So I think that's about middle number. Let's say about 50.
50 out of 100 said they have seriously given consideration to leaving the priesthood. Chris, higher or lower than 50?
Good job, Brandon H. Good job, Brandon H. Good job. Let's see. Well, I don't know. As far as priests goes, I haven't really went to church in a while due to reasons I'm not really going to get into. For this number, I'm going to go a little bit higher.
I'm going to say a little higher than that. Okay. Well, the actual number of priests who said they've given serious thought about leaving the priesthood is 25. It's not higher. All right, Chris, you've got control of the cards. Sorry, not Chris. Brandon's got control. It's like all sort of discombobulated today, folks. I apologize for that. Brandon, you started off this one with a jack.
Go. Let's take him down.
Going on, lower than the jack. It's a 3.
Go up.
Going on, higher than the 3. An ace.
Down. Go down.
Going on, lower than the ace. It's a 6.
Let's go up.
Going on to tie up the match, $1,000 bonus higher than the 6. It's a 10. He's got it.
Well, thank you,
Nicely
Brandon
done.
H.
$500 for you plus the $1,000 bonus there. So you picked up another $1,500, up to $17,100 for you now. And it's all tied up 1 game apiece. So that means we move on to sudden death. 3 cards, only 1 question decides who goes on to the money cards. And this time the question goes to our champion, Brandon. Brandon, for the tiebreaker, we have this. We asked 100 U.S. congressmen, do you think the federal government's responsibility that all Americans have acceptable standard of living? How many of 100 U.S. congressmen believe that it's the federal government's responsibility that Americans have an acceptable standard of living?
32.
How many?
32.
32 out of the 100 congressmen said it is the federal government's duty to keep an acceptable standard of living here. Chris, higher or lower than 32?
Well, I mean, everyone should. I mean, I'm pretty sure the standard of living should be kept every single time, but I say that's a little bit higher than that with the number.
A little bit higher than that. All right, for all important control of the cards here, the actual number of U.S. congressmen that believe it is the American government's responsibility to keep up the standard of living for all Americans is 33. It is just slightly higher.
Wowie.
Oh gosh.
Very close right there. All right, Chris, you've got control of the cards. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn over each of the base cards, and then it's up to you to decide if you want to play your cards or pass the control to Brandon. Now, remember, after showing your card, you have the right to change it, but you must decide if you want to play or pass first before you get a chance to change it, okay? So we're going to start off by showing you Brandon's opening base card for the tiebreaker round, a 4. Your tiebreaker card is a jack. What do you want to do? You want to play it or you want to pass?
Both of us have good cards either way. Both good cards. I'll try this one and I'll go lower.
Okay, you're gonna play. Do you want to keep the jack?
I'm keeping it. I'm going lower.
All right. Make one mistake. Brandon retains his champion. Going on lower than the jack. It's a 3.
Higher for the hope.
For the game and the match, higher than a 3. It's a 10. We got a new champion. Congratulations, Chris. That's $2,000 for you. You're going to be putting the money cards in just a minute. Brandon, unfortunately, we're going to say goodbye to you, sir, but you're not leaving here empty-handed by any means. You take with you $17,100. Congratulations. Stick around. Chris is going to take on the money cards right after this. Welcome back to Card Sharks, where we have a new champion on deck, Mr. Christopher Hammond. He's won himself $2,000 in cash so far, and now he's going to get a chance to see if he can knock out another $32,000 here on the money cards. Chris, remember how this works. We start you off with $200 of brand new betting money on the bottom row. You'll work your way across the bottom three cards, calling higher or lower, until you get to the second row, where we give you an additional $400 and three more cards. Remember, minimum bets are $50 and $50 increments until you get to the top card, which is the big bet, where you must bet at least half your money. Now, if you get stuck or want to get a bad card, you can change one card on each line with one of the three extra cards we deal out on the side of the board. And if you can do a perfect double, double, double all the way to the top of the board, it is worth $32,000 in cash. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Let's go ahead and deal out those cards, and let's give you a fresh $200 of betting money.
Okay.
Good luck to you. We'll start you off with your front on this money cards with a 7.
7's got to go with number 1.
All right, I'm going to change it with card number 1. That 7 now becomes a queen.
Okay, let's try all of it lower.
All right, betting it all. $200 lower than the queen. It's a 10. Doubled up $400.
I'll do 200 lower.
All right, betting half the money this time. $200 lower than the 10. It's a 9. You're up to $600 now.
$50 lower.
All right, minimum bet $50 here. Going lower again. Oh, no, ace. You lose the 50 there, but you have a great card now. As we move that ace up to the next line, give you another $400. You're up to $950, sir, and a card you can't lose on.
All of it lower.
Going on. Let's double up here. Lower than the ace. Oh, no, another ace. Oh,
Wow.
Missed opportunity there. You stay at $950, sir. You still have an ace. What would you like to do?
All of it lower.
Trying again. Double up again. Lower than the ace. It's a 9. There we go. $1,900 now and a 9.
And with that, we're going to change it with number 2.
All right, changing with card number 2 now. Hopefully a good change here. That 9 now becomes a king.
Don't fail me. All of it lower.
Ooh, big risking it all here. $1,900 lower than the king. It's a 6. There we go. $3,800. We moved that 6 up to the big bet spot now. Do you want to keep it?
Get rid of it.
All right, important change here. The last card off the side. This is all important. Your big bet card is about to be a 5. You have $3,800, which means you must bet at least $1,900 on this card.
Let's do 2,000. That is higher.
All right. For $1,800 or $5,800, we want this to be higher than a 5. It's an ace. He's got it. Nicely done, sir. $5,800 for you here. That's your upfront winnings now. You have a one-game total of $7,800 in cash. Well done. We're going to see Chris take on another opponent, and we have some more Card Sharks on the way for you guys, so stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Card Sharks here. A new champion, Chris, with $7,800 so far that he's won. He's going to try to see if he can pick up some more as he takes on his next opponent here. So let's meet him now. Coming to us by way of New Orleans, Louisiana, please welcome in Mr. James Doe.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you back with us, James. First time playing on Card Sharks here on the channel. Remind the good folks at home a little bit about yourself. Where you from, what you do, and all that.
I am from New Orleans. I am a cashier at a sporting good retail store, and on the off chance I do referee on the side too.
Fantastic. We talked a little bit before the show about him potentially being able to referee this coming season. You're gonna I forgot. What sport was it you referee for? Is it just football?
Just
Football.
football.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, hopefully you can call some cards right and not get any penalty flags thrown at you in this game. You ready to go?
I will do my best.
All right. Best of luck to you both. Let's get started here with our second match up here on this episode of Card Sharks with a question to our champion, Chris, now. I will eventually learn how to speak English at some point. Time at home, folks, I promise. But, Chris, this question is for you. We asked 100 bachelors, would you marry a woman you were in love with even if she were pregnant with another man's baby? How many of 100 bachelors said they would marry a woman they were absolutely in love with even though they're pregnant with another man's baby?
That's kind of rough to say because, bachelor's going for a degree, and the woman that the man wants to marry has another baby. I don't know if any man would stick around. Some will, some don't. I'm gonna go in the mid-low for this one and say 48.
All right, 48 out of 100 bachelors said they would marry a woman even though she was pregnant with another man's baby. James, higher or lower than 48?
Honestly, I think it's gonna be slower because I don't know if they want to take that responsibility of having a kid.
Okay, so you say even lower. Okay, well, let's see what the answer here is. The actual number of bachelors who would marry a woman they were in love with even though she was pregnant with another man's baby is 28. It is lower. All right, so James, that means you get control of the cards first. Let's take a look at your opening base card for this round. A 7.
Change it.
All right, change the next card off the top of the deck. That 7 now becomes a 4.
Higher.
Going on higher than the 4. Oh no! 4. Hurts you there. So there's that card, giving Chris a free chance to play his card. An ace.
Even better, lower.
Lower than the ace. It's a 9.
I think I better freeze right there.
Gonna freeze right there. All right, 2-1 advantage for Chris there. We go on to question number 2. This one is for James. James, we asked 100 people on the street, if you could cut your fuel bill in half by switching to elephant dung fuel, would you do it? How many of 100 people said they would cut their fuel bills in half by switching to elephant dung fuel?
Never heard of that before. I tell you that, to be honest.
It's like a different type of biofuel, except it's made from elephant poop.
No, I know that, but it's just like I never thought of that. I would go 30.
I'm going to say 30 out of 100 said they would make the switch to elephant dung fuel. Chris, higher or lower than 30?
First of all, I gotta get over the fact that anybody would use elephant fuel of all things to replace fuel in general. Trying to keep my composure. I'm gonna go a little bit higher.
I'm going to say a little higher than that. Well, let's see. The actual number of people that would actually switch to elephant dung fuel if it cut their fuel bill in half is 84. It is way higher.
That's the mindset of people wanting to reduce gas bills.
I guess so. All right, Chris, you've got control. You've got that 9. What would you like to do with it?
Out with it.
He's like, nope, be gone, Satan.
Out.
Oh. That 9 now becomes a 10.
Well, a little bit better than just half and half with this one. I'm going with the odds and go lower for this one.
I'm going to go lower than the 10. It's a 6.
That I'm freezing right there too.
All right, just going to take it one step at a time. Fair enough. No shame in that. We'll move on to question number 3 now. This one goes back to James here on this one.
Is it? Or go
I think it goes back to me.
Wait, sorry. Yeah, right. My bad. It's on Chris for this one. Forgot. So we're on question number 2. I've lost track, folks. It's been
question number 3. Yes.
It's been an interesting show to say the least. All right, question 3. This one's for Chris here. Chris, we asked 100 single women. Okay. When you say no to a man's romantic advances, do you hope he'll keep trying? How many of 100 single women said they do hope that a man keeps trying after their initial thought of no?
That's kind of interesting to say. Interesting, because on a women perspective, you would hope the man will just back away after the reaction. They said no to the advances.
Mm-hmm.
But on the man's perspective, if they feel so entitled or just don't get the hint, those could continue. I don't know if many like women would hoping that, but if they're like feeling a little scared, they probably may be forced to hoping that. But this one, I'm gonna probably go a little bit lower for this one. I'll say 42.
All right, 42 out of 100 said that they would rather. They hope that a man continues to pursue them after their initial thought of no. James, higher or lower than 42?
I was saying this. I was trying to say is that it depends on the situation. Some women like ew, and then some women like they want to put a ring on it. So I would go a little higher.
You want to say a little higher than that? All right, we'll see. Well, the actual number of single women who say when they initially say no to a man's romantic advances, they hope that the man will continue to keep trying is 40. It is not higher.
Wow. That's
Damn.
what I would have said.
Very
from
close,
initial
Chris.
reference.
Almost got it right on the nose. Remember, an exact correct answer in the survey questions will also net you another $1,000 bonus, players. And Chris, you've got control with that 6.
Out with the 6 too.
6 is gone, and instead we find another 10.
Oh, great. Gonna deal with another 10. Go with the odds lower.
Going on lower than the 10. It's a 7. Got a freeze there. All right. So freezing the 7. This is our 4th and final question in the round. Someone must win on this play of the cards. And this question goes to James. James, we asked 100 New York City police officers, for $100, would you spend a day on patrol without a gun? Again, we asked 100 New York City police officers, for $100 cash, would you spend a day on patrol without carrying your gun? How many of 100 New York City police officers said they would?
There's some people that just like, no, I want more money than $100. I want more than 100. I would go. I'll put it in the middle, 50.
50 out of 100 said that they would go on patrol without their gun for $100 cash. Chris, higher or lower than 50?
Considering New York, this is like New York City we're talking about here, and when you're living like in a big city or like close to it, there are gonna be problems coming around you if you're not careful. So I say like a cop taking $100 to not have a gun, that's kind of a little too risky. I don't think many cops would be opted to go with it, but if they want money, kudos. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than that, actually.
I'm gonna say a little lower than that too. All right. Well, for all important control of the cards, the actual number of police officers who would take $100 cash in hand to not carry their gun around for one patrol shift is 43. It is lower. All right, Chris, you've got your choice here, sir. You've got a 7. You can keep that card or change it if you want and play your card. You only need one card to win this game. Or you can pass it to James. He has a 4. He can't change it and needs to call 4 cards. Choice is yours. You want to play or you want to pass?
How about it? Good luck, James.
All right. James, it's all you, sir. You got to go all the way across the board, call all 5 correctly. Not only will you get the first game of the match, you also pick up a $1,000 bonus for sweeping the board. So good luck, sir. Call it from the 4.
Higher.
Higher than the 4. Oh no, it's a 3, and Chris wins game number 1. Yeah, tough break right there with the cards. Unfortunately, yeah. With $500 for Chris for winning that match, he's up to $8,300 now. Up 1 game to nothing. We're going to see if James gets a chance to play catch up here as we deal the next cards off the top of the deck. Set up for game number 2. And round 2, our challenger starts first. So, James, this first question is for you on this one. James, we asked 100 female business executives, is a man responsible for your success? How many of 100 female business executives say a man is responsible for their success?
Who is it for?
Yeah, it's for you. Yeah, the challenger starts round 2, so this first question is yours.
Okay, so men's success. I can see it, but it depends. So I would say 55.
55 out of 100 say a man is successful is the reason behind a female success in the business place. Chris, higher or lower than 55?
Well, most of the women in the workforce, I think, I don't know. It's just half and half, and I'll say just a slight bit lower,
Let's
please.
say slight bit lower. All right, we'll see. Well, the actual number of female business executives that say a man is responsible for their success in the business place is 56. It is not lower. James off by 1.
Well, dang, James.
1 off of picking up that $1,000 bonus for you, James. But more importantly, you got to control the cards. You're going to start off trying to play catch up here, starting off with a 5.
Higher.
Going on higher than the
Please.
5.
Please.
Oh no!
Oh,
Not what we want
no.
to see there.
I am so unlucky with the cards.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Tough break there. Chris, that means you get a free chance to play off your opening base card, an 8. Right up the murder.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Snowman has arrived. That's nice. That's great.
Nice, Snowman.
Let's see. In the middle, let me do higher.
Going on higher than the 8. No, with the 5, you lose that card as well.
Bloody snowman.
I know, right?
The bloody snowman strikes again, unfortunately, and nobody makes any progress on this one, so we'll continue on. Question 2, this one goes to Chris on this one. Okay. All right, Chris, we asked 100 children who are in a family with 10 or more members in their household. Again, we asked 100 children who live in a household that has 10 or more people in it, and we asked them, have you ever missed out on a dessert because you didn't finish your dinner fast enough? How many of those 100 children said they have missed out on dessert before because they didn't finish their dinner fast enough?
When you live with a big family, whenever his brother, sister, or cousin, or whatever, yeah, I can see that happening, especially if you're living with a big family. I'm gonna go a little bit of the mid-high on this one and say 60.
All right, 60 out of 100 said they have missed out on dessert because they didn't finish their dinner fast enough. James, higher or lower than 60?
That's depends on the dessert and the stuff. But yeah, they don't make that much for. I'm gonna take the risk and go slightly lower.
Going slightly lower. Yeah, we'll see. Well, the actual number of children who have lived in a large household that said they have missed out on dessert because they didn't finish their dinner fast enough is 37. It is lower.
I thought it was a little lower than that.
All right, James, you've got controls. You've got that 5. What would you like to do?
Watch it be lower, but please be higher, please.
Going on, try to keep the 5 higher than a 5. Oh no! 5.
Oh my God!
These cards are so rude to James right now. Chris, you must call from the 8 again.
I feel bad for James at this point. But gotta deal with the snowman again. That's nice. Let's try higher again.
Going on higher than the 8. Oh no! 4 for you.
The curse of the bloody snowman.
Lose that card as well. Nobody's making any progress on this one. We shall have to see. We'll continue on. We go to question number 3 now. This one is back to James. All right, James, we've asked 100 doctors. Do you believe that acupuncture actually is effective? How many of 100 doctors believe that acupuncture is actually effective?
I've seen so many people done acupuncture. I never want to do acupuncture because I'm not that type of person. But I think there's doctors that believe that this is an effective thing. I would say 64.
64 out of 100 believe that acupuncture is an effect. The doctors believe that acupuncture is effective. Chris, higher or lower than 64?
There are some statistics that shows that it can help with skin-related issues when it come with eczema, psoriasis, or whatever. That number, I'm gonna say that's a little bit lower.
I'm going to say a little lower than that. Well, let's see. The actual number of doctors that believe that acupuncture is effective is 70. It's not lower.
Wow.
All right, James, another chance here. You still have that 5.
I still want to say higher.
Okay, come on. Third time's got to be the charm here. Let's see it. Higher than a 5. It's an 8 up the middle.
Now you're stuck with that snowman.
Cut your
Higher.
horses, brother.
Going on higher than the 8.
You fool!
No, it's a 3. You lose both those cards, and Chris, another chance to play your 8.
Go to show you, snowman curse. Try higher again. Hopefully.
Higher than the 8. No, a 2. Nobody getting anywhere in this one, and we have made it to our 4th and final question of this round. Someone must win on this play of the cards, and this question goes to you, Chris.
Okay.
We've asked 100 marriage counselors, does having a baby help a troubled marriage? How many of 100 marriage counselors believe that actually having a baby can help a troubled marriage?
That depends. I don't know about that, but if it's a troubled marriage, that probably should have dealt with before even having. I'm gonna go just a little bit in the middle and say 51.
You're gonna say 51 out of 100 believe that having a baby can help a troubled marriage. James, higher or lower than 51?
I'm gonna go slightly lower.
You're gonna say slightly lower than that. All right. Well, for all important control of the cards, the actual number of marriage counselors who believe that having a baby can help a troubled marriage is 2. It is way lower.
Christ.
All right, James, you have an interesting situation here. Both of you have sort of mid-range or dead center cards here. You've got the 5. Chris has the 8. You both need 4 cards in order to win the game. Chris, if he wins it, wins the game and match. You have the option, sir. Do you want to play it, or would you like to pass it?
Since
You know
it's a
what to do.
30 snowman.
Passing it on. All right, Chris, you got to call them all correct. One mistake, James ties up the match, and we go to sudden death.
Oh boy! Now I'm feeling the pain of what James is going through. Let's try lower. Hopefully.
Going on lower than the 8. No, it's a 9, and James ties it up. There we go. Well done, James. You tied up the match there. 1 game apiece. Now you've got $500 in cash here, so that means we got to set up one more time for sudden death again. 3 cards to call. Only 1 question to decide who gets the important control. And the question always in sudden death goes to our champion, Chris. So, Chris, we asked 100 bachelors, on a first date, do you expect more than a goodnight kiss? How many of 100 bachelors said they do believe they do expect more than just a goodnight kiss on their first date?
If they expect more than a goodnight kiss, I think I know what they're going at. Let's see.
That's exactly what the question's implementing here.
I know what they're referring, but let's see. I don't know if they're gonna be wanting to go that far, especially since some of them are still in college still. For this one, I'm gonna say about 52.
I'm gonna say 52 out of 100 say they're expecting more than just a goodnight kiss. James, higher or lower than 52?
I'm watching baseball right now, so in face of love, they want to go past first base. even
well
even
played,
third
sir.
base or third base or a home run. Anyway, lower.
I'm gonna say lower than that. All right, for all important control of the cards, the actual number of bachelors who want more than just a goodnight kiss on their first date is 49. It is just slightly lower.
No, it's the game. Money
All right, James is on you again. I will show you each of your base cards, and it's up to you to decide if you want to play your cards or pass it. Remember, if you decide to play your cards, you can change your base card because you won the question. Let's take a look at Chris's base card first. Chris has a 10. James, you have a 6.
Ooh. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to change the card, and I'm going to go for it.
You're going to play? All right, and you're going to change the
Yep.
6, correct? All right. All-important change here. That 6 now becomes an ace.
Lower.
Call both cards correct. You become champion. One mistake, and Chris remains as champion. Lower than the ace. It's a 5.
He's gonna do it.
I hate this. Every time I had the 5. Higher.
For the game, the match has become the new champion.
Hey,
Higher
DJ,
than a
man.
5. It's a 6. He's got it. We got a new champion.
GG. Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations, James. $1,000 to you. We're going on to the money cards in a second. Chris, unfortunately, it's a short run to live as champion here for you, but you leave us with $8,300, so congratulations.
Thank you. Good luck in money card. You're gonna
All
need
right,
it.
James is after the money cards right after this. Welcome back to Card Sharks here. New champion James won himself $1,000 in the upfront game. He's now going to get a shot here at the money cards here. You know how this works. So we're already ready to set up and get you right into it here. You got $200 of betting money, and I wish you the best of luck to you. So here we go. Start you off with your opening base card for this one. An ace.
All of it. Lower.
Of course. Can't lose on the ace. Double up for $400. Lower than the ace. It's a 5.
It's that evil 5.
You and 5s are not getting along today, sir. At all.
No, not at all. But I still keep it. I'm going to go $100 higher than the 5.
How much was the bet?
$100.
Okay, gotcha. Got some interference back there somewhere. $100 higher than a 5. Yes, it's a 9. Up to 500 and that 9. What would you like to do?
Change it to number 2.
Change it with card number 2. Important change here. That 9 now becomes a queen.
Okay. All right. $400 lower.
Big bet on the queen here. $400. Lower than the queen. It's a 4. Very good. $900 for you. We move that 4 up to the next row. I'll give you another $400 in cash. You're up to $1,300 and that 4.
$1,000, babies, higher.
$1,000, babies, indeed. Looking for something higher than a 4. It's a 9. $2,300 and another evil mid card.
Change it to number 1, please.
Changing with number 1, all right? Important change. That 9 now becomes a 7.
$300 higher.
A reasonable bet, I feel. $700 higher than the 7.
I say 300.
Yeah. Said the right thing, typed the right number, said the wrong thing. But nonetheless, it's a mistake here. Cost you $300, but you have a 3 now.
I'm gonna go 1,900 higher than a 3.
Wants to save something for the big bet at the end. $1,900 higher than the 3. No, it's another 3. It's a push. No win, no loss there. So you keep the $2,000. We move that 3 up to the big bet card. Do you want to keep it?
I am going to be a gambling man and go all of it higher than a 3.
All right, he's going for nothing at all or $4,000 if this card is higher than a 3. It's a jack. He's got it. Well done, sir. $4,000 in cash there. Added to the $1,000 you won in the upfront game. You'll be back with us on our next episode of the Returning Champion with $5,000 in cash. Well done. That is true. And all right, folks, that is going to be it for us on this edition of Card Sharks. We thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you like the series and want to see more of it, check out our first season on our playlist here. And if you want to see the other great game shows we've done here, past, present, and future, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell. That way you never miss out on all the fun and games going down here at MVG Productions. And until the cards get shuffled up once again and we try to give away some more cash, I'm your host, Brandon Scruggs, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you next time right here for another new episode of Card Sharks. Take care. Bye for now, folks. This is your announcer, Michael Gentry, speaking for Card Sharks, an MVG Productions presentation.